Alright, welcome to this part 4 of the Nioh 2 speedrun for Featherless, you know, both 90% and with DLC. And next up is Pervading Waters. Let's go. This is the part 4, Region Dawn. And we're starting off with the first and double boss mission. Alright, so at the start, nothing too crazy happening. Just dash around this way. And once you're in the bridge, go to the menu and use a couple of lobbies and crystals. If you cannot use 2 of them, just use the available that you have. The objective is to get to the full Amrita meter. But you know, also trying to get experience for leveling up later in this mission. So this girl right here, she likes to be an ass. Now, if she takes out the cannon as you approach her, you're good. Okay, cannon is good because you dash right beside her, and she takes out the cannon. You know, takes away the cannon, and then you can just open this door right here, no problem. Now she can also just take out her Kusarigama or throw a bomb at you, in which case you're gonna have to do something different. With the weapon, I would recommend just going anyways, because I haven't found really like any other decent setup for it. But for the bomb, you want to go to the, like, just forget about the door for a moment and just go on this, like, close to that tree over there and wait a little bit. And from there, just approach the door. Okay. Like, don't stand on one point at any point. So, like, just don't be a sitting duck, just move. Okay? But you don't need to move a lot, you just need to move a little bit. And yeah, like the moment that she shoots the cannon, you should be hearing it. Just do a last, you know, final dodge, and then open the door. Okay. So yeah, we'll see what happens now. Okay, so she took out the cannon, and that means that I can get a free pass, as you can see. Okay, I'll do it one more time and see what happens. Okay, bomb. Let's go to here. Yeah, right there. As soon as you hear the cannon, just dash and get in. Whether you get hit or not depends on RNG and also like how clutch you get it. But yeah, that's the idea. Anyways, let's continue. Over here, get this item, Spirit Stone, right on the way, so yeah. Avoid the scream, but it doesn't matter too much if you get hit by it. And open the door. And yeah, I would recommend here on this part to not dash. On those parts that you're like, that it's pretty sketchy and it's like you're really close to falling, I would recommend not dashing. Okay, right here, stop dashing, and now start dashing again. Just start dashing as a dodge, the first one when you're close to him. And yeah. Nothing too much to comment on that. Now we're gonna level up. As you know, 10 strength, rest on stamina. There we go. Should be more or less your level, depending on if you are able to get the Lumisite crystal twice or not. If you are not able to get 2 Lumisite crystals, then you're gonna have less, but you know, it's okay. Doesn't matter too much, okay? Now, change Guardian Spirit from Makami to Shirohami. Shirohami has the ability to inflict poison when using the Yatsunokami Soul Core or when using the special attack. Now this Enki Soul Core is just optional, you don't need it, but it can save you and it can be pretty useful, like for example at the end of this region. So I would definitely recommend having it around, okay? Because it can save you and you know, make some fights faster than they would be otherwise because of RNG, okay? Now let's go. Keep in mind, I'm going with the Warrior's Monk Hammer from the previous mission. It is not the best hammer that you can get, but it's the bare minimum that you will always be guaranteed to have, okay? So this is gonna be a good comparison. Anyways, buff with water, okay? And now over here we're gonna fight Saika Magoichi. And overall, this fight is not too complicated, but it can go, like I said, it can go pretty badly sometimes. So right at the start, you're gonna try to dodge the first attack, okay? And depending on the RNG, you might want to go for just Titanic Strength, or you might want to go a bit more aggressive and go with high stance strong attack immediately, and then, you know, flux between both of them. If you're doing Titanic Strength, you just need to flux from high to low, or high to mid, or low to mid, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you're going for high stance strong attacks, you might want to do a flux too. And, you know, you can cut it at any point, just switch to Titanic Strength whenever you feel like it's time. And apart from that, the main thing that you want to watch out for is to not hit him out of the stagger. So you just need to go for out of breath, and then the moment that you get that, then just pop Yokai Shift and do a 1-2 burst attack, you know, few times till you can do another one. And then, you know, at the end, you might want to do a couple of more attacks into a Yatsunokami to finish the fight. You know, this all sounds pretty simple, but it depends on a lot on RNG. This fight is not too hard, but, you know, keep in mind certain stuff, like for example, when he goes in the air, if you do a burst counter, a blood counter, you should be able to avoid getting grabbed. There's a chance to make him fall. If you're on, you know, not on Yokai Shift, you can do a high stance strong attack after a grab attack, so you can knock him down, but that is a bit risky. Okay, just keep in mind. And if you're on Yokai Shift, you can do a regular strong attack. Okay, so let's go. Alright, we got the weird RNG. Okay, as you can see. Some attacks. And right now I'm gonna switch to this. Every time that he gets away, make sure to do that. And now I broke his key, so I go into Yokai Shift. 1, 2, come on. Okay, so this is bad. This is really bad, actually. That's terrible. Actually terrible. So yeah, I recommend switching to the other buff if possible, if that happens. And yeah, just be careful. That's a good example of things going very, very badly and recovering from it, okay? So I'll do it again. Alright. That's not a strong attack. You can switch to that if you want. And yeah, this yokai shift. 1, 2, brute counter. Okay, every time he gets away, I do a brute counter. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Now it's a good time to do the Yatsu no Kami. And it's a good time to do Enki. As you can see, Enki is still useful. GG. And I'll do it one more time, okay? Okay, so at one point I had to disconnect my controller because I had something to attend. So I, you know, stopped recording, disconnected my controller, and did that thing. And come on, bro. You know, I forgot to reconnect my controller, so that's why you were not able to see the inputs. Now you can actually see them, okay? Don't worry. Nothing went wrong. It's just me forgetting. Tsunokami. There we go. That's good. Okay. So now you pick up everything, speak to him, change to that. And use the travel amulet. There we go. And switch to Masaru and sword, yes. Actually, I'm gonna... Okay. Don't do this, but... don't do it, like, you don't need to do this at all. Like, there's literally 0 reasons to do this. But I'm gonna take this shrine because otherwise, since I use the travel amulet, it didn't save. So, if I do the quit out after defeating the next boss, then I'll spawn before defeating Saika. So, that's why I'm doing this, okay? But you don't need to worry about this. You already have the shrine. If you do die on the next boss, then you're gonna spawn there after defeating Saika anyways, okay? Okay, switch back to this. And buff with purity, and you know, ready the learn skills menu. Now this boss is a bit annoying. I like to call him. This might be a stupid, like you may think, oh, what has that to do with the run? I call him Tinder God or Tinder Lord or Tinder Pack, whatever, something Tinder. Why? Because your biggest threat is that he swipes left and right very randomly. Like, basically you want to avoid being in front of him, okay? You're gonna have to be in front of him at some point, or several points, but, you know, whenever possible, stay away from his from side, because then you're susceptible. You can actually just die randomly from those swipes, okay? Okay, so you're attacking from the side or even from the back, but normally like the side is good enough because otherwise you just waste too much time to get into the back. And once you do, you need to worry about 2 things. One is the jumps, okay, and the other thing is him getting back up, like just basically backstepping or, you know, back walking, okay. So the main things that you want to do are either quick Heaven and Earth, high stance straw attack, or Titanic Strength, okay? You don't need anything else. Now, the idea is to proc the purity as fast as possible with Heaven and Earth, but because he likes to jump so much, it can be very dangerous. So that brings us to the next point, which is why we switch to Masaru. We switch to Masaru because you're gonna have to risk attacking, and if he jumps while you're attacking, Masaru is, or, you know, Feral rather, is gonna be your only salvation, so take that into account. Another thing is that, you know, if you keep pulse, you are gonna be able to get a free block. It's kind of funny. I'll talk about it later, but you know, just get on with it. So yeah, if you're not doing anything, you can just block it in theory, and it's not gonna take all your ki, depending on what you did before. And whenever Gyuki is on red key or very low key, you're gonna use Yatsu no Kami as soon as it's available, okay? Unless a lot of time has passed, you know, like if it's been a while since it's gone to red key, then don't use Yatsu no Kami. Now, assuming everything goes decently, you're not dead, you want to prepare for the transition into Dark Realm. In theory, you will not actually be able to do Yatsu no Kami before he goes into the Dark Realm at the start, because that's not how the anima works. So you just want to as soon as he starts transitioning, you're already attacking with Heaven and Earth, and then you decide if you combo it with Titanic Strength or just wait for you know, do a full Flux 2 or and then do a high stance strong attack or another Heaven and Earth. Depends on what kind of risk you want to take. And you know, as soon as it gets to red key, just use Yatsu no Kami. Now, you have time to do a couple of Heaven and Earths every time that Gyuki is downed, and then after that you just use grapple, and then out of the grapple, if you have enough, do Yatsu no Kami, okay, and then keep going with the fight. You want to be with Purity for the second time he transitions into Dark Realm, which should be the last one. So take that into account. Apart from that, nothing too hard or anything. I'll explain the finisher at the end. So yeah, let's go. So yeah, dash to the side. Right there. Don't lock onto him, I forgot to talk about that. Yeah. Over Earth. Titanic Strength. There we go. And now, Heaven and Earth. Titanic Strength. Yatsu no Kami. There we go. Now 1. Flux. 2. 2. Then grapple. Then Yatsu no Kami. Then Heaven and Earth. Another one. And Yatsu no Kami. There we go. 1, 2. Oh yeah, that's good enough, actually. And we switch, and we grapple with that. Okay, now we're gonna go to Shifling. Get this Samurai. Get life plus 50. This and this. Okay, and then we'll rush, getting the items. I was very slow, by the way. Getting the items and then talk to her. Skip the stuff and go forward, okay? But while you go forward, you switch to Masaru as well. And then you just do the menu if possible, okay? So I would change to Pulverizing Hammer or Gusto Tenno's Axe, actually. But yeah, I'll do it again. I'll do it one more time. Okay, so one thing that I forgot is that on Gyuki, okay, right now I'm like at the end of the region, but I did forget to mention this. On Gyuki, when you finish him, you know, you're supposed to do obviously this menu or whatnot. Start here, okay? Start with the axe. I skipped it. I just forgot. It's been a while, so that's why I forgot. So the axe, and go and learn Passage to the Afterlife one, okay? And then you do quickly the other things. Okay, I have extra proficiency, but it's because I'm later on. So yeah, you go to Shifling and learn this as well. Okay, if you can go to the next one, then learn this one as well. Okay, if you cannot, then don't do it. And then you go to Samurai and learn. Honestly, you don't need life by 50, but it can save you. The idea is to get this, and this as a bonus. None of this is necessary, but it can help you. Okay. So you want to do this the last. You want to do this the last. Sorry for not explaining it later. I'll just add it right after Gyuki. Okay. Okay. Skip the cutscene. Dash to the side and forward. Heaven and Earth. Twice. Attack strength. Last time strong attack. And now he's gonna transition. Heaven and Earth. Attack strength. Yatsu no Kami. Then 1. Heaven and Earth. Flux 2. 2. Heaven and Earth. Flux 2. Bravo. Yatsu no Kami. Heaven and Earth. And make sure to not be in front of him. And then Yatsu no Kami, there we go. 1 and 2. Grapple. Yatsu no Kami. GG. Now we switch to the Brute. Grapple. Samurai. Get this. This. And this. Now you get that. Switch to the sword. Get all these items around. Switch to Masaru. Get whatever you want. I'm not gonna update the axe because I'm gonna have to prove the point of, you know, you're still good later. And, you know, if you can update your armor, okay? We're gonna update the armor a bit more later, like in a moment. And yeah, skip that cutscene as well. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Well, I did mention it, but I didn't mention it right there. You know, so just in case, you do not want to pick up the Gyuki soul core because it will make the dialogue slower. Okay, or rather, the dialogue will pop later because it's gonna have to wait for the Gyuki soul core dialogue to play before you can talk to Miu. Anyways. Climb this. Get this water. And be ready to menu. I'm gonna do a quick menu here. Go to the right. Get this Escampus. Alright. So just try to be quick with menus right there. Don't worry about it too much. Now, I'll tell you in advance. There's a shrine that I'm gonna get right next to. I'll point it out. But I will not take it because of this Escampus. I'll explain later. Okay? So now, you use 2 large spirit stones or equivalent. I could probably mention that as well. And you know, keep updating your armor whenever you have a bit of a downtime. Just rush. Yeah, you went like right. The shrine right there was a safety shrine. You can take it if you want. I do not recommend it. But you know, if you want to take it as safe as possible, I will show another thing that you can do. So yeah. Alright. So yeah, just lure an attack from that guy and get past him. Open the door. Switch to the axe. Skip the cutscene. Buff. Now, Kasha is actually a very simple fight in the speedrun. All you need to do is make sure that you can actually do a couple of heavy runners or a heavy runner and a strong attack, or depending. Her attacks are not too hard. The worst thing that she can do is the swipes, like the scratches, because they have a lot of tracking and it's pretty long, and you cannot really approach her much with that. Apart from that, just punish any attack that she gets to doing. And then the moment that she's on very low key or red key, use the Yatsunokami Sokor, okay, and just keep attacking, okay? Just do, depending on your key, full or quick Heaven Earth, but keep attacking, very important, okay? You want to be attacking as much as possible once she gets into a red key. Now, assuming everything is properly done, she will get downed once all the red key is gone. And the next thing is insanely simple. This is the easiest thing that you're gonna do in the whole run, pretty much. Pop Yokai Shift, okay, that you're gonna auto-trigger the grapple, as you already know. And then, right, like, as you're doing it, like, just the first thing on the first frame, just keep spamming it. Do the brute counter, okay? Brute counter, she will actually fall again. After the brute counter, you just do a couple of quick attacks, key pulse, grapple, brute counter, grapple. No, sorry. So yeah, I'll go back to the start. So basically, pop Yokai Shift, auto grapple, brute counter, 2 quick attacks, key pulse, grapple, brute counter, 2 quick attacks, key pulse, grapple, and then if she's still alive, do Yatsunokami, and either grapple immediately, or actually you cannot grapple immediately, but whatever. Do 2 quick attacks and finish the fight if it's like really low without grappling, or if she is like still has a bit of HP, just finish the fight with grapple. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so Heaven and Earth right there is good. There we go. Now, Yatsunokami. Earth. Pop Yokai Shift. Brute counter. 1, 2. Grapple. Brute counter. 1, 2. Grapple. And she's fucking dead. I'll do it again, okay? Okay. So, what I'm gonna do assumes that you're gonna take this shrine, but because of everything, because if I take this shrine and then I exit the game and go back in, I will not have this campus. Because of that, I'm not gonna do that. But if you're gonna do what I'm gonna do right now, take the shrine and then do it, okay? So let's just say that you're still not confident on not dying here, and you want to take it safe. So what you're gonna do is right at the shrine, get this barrel, and then you see that fire over there on the middle of the screen. I'm gonna go past it and to the right. There's what is it? I'm gonna go there and then explain. So right here, over here, and now this box right here, or this chest, will not always be a regular chest. Sometimes it will be a Mujina chest. You can tell because instead of 2 of this right here, 1 and 2, there's gonna be 3. Okay, 3 on there and also on there. Okay. If that happens, you need to do the whistle, and then prepare for whatever gesture the Mujina has. You should know how the Mujina works, and then do the gesture. Okay, it will always be a gesture that you have in the first page. Okay, it will never be something else. So yeah, take that into account. This campus should keep this yokai entertained, so don't worry about it too much. But yeah, this is gonna make things easier. Okay, this is gonna make things easier. Alright, so I'm gonna change the setup now as a warning. I forgot to mention one thing, so I'll do it right now. Use one clay block beckoning, and okay, one thing that I didn't mention. You might have noticed that I've just been going through all the blue fire, no problem. The reason why is because of this little dude, the Scampus. The Scampus, for whatever reason, allows you to go through the blue fire without taking any kind of damage. No damage, no key damage. So it's very good. Now, if you don't take the shrine, you don't need to get this second one, but it's gonna make things easier for you as well. Obviously, it's slower. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I kind of forgot. Okay, after at the end of this fight, I'm gonna actually explain another thing. But yeah, let's go. Okay, make sure to be on Masaru here with full Amrita meter. Now, you see that this guy right there, right in front of the door, that's a whale monk, of course. It can do several things, okay? I recommend you to just decide what you're gonna do from the first 1-2 seconds after being in front of him, like basically when he triggers the AI. He can do several things. The most telling one, and in my opinion the best one, is that he's just gonna charge at you with a burst attack. You're just gonna time the burst counter with a feather, and then open the, go to the door and open it immediately, and switch to brute. Okay. If it doesn't do that, just wait for it to get close to you, like go on your way and whatnot, and then go past it. Worst case scenario is it's gonna hit you, with a rush attack or whatever. As long as you're careful, it should only hit you once, and you should not die. Okay. Yeah, make sure to get that water as well. So right there, burst counter, switch to the brute, and just go to the boss fight. Okay. So now, keep in mind that now we have 2 Scampus, so the strategy is gonna be slightly different. Okay. You'll see why. Skip, buff, Heaven and Earth. Okay. Another Heaven and Earth. And now we're gonna do Yatsunokami, there we go. Brute, counter, 1, 2, grapple. And now we don't do another one, we just do Yatsunokami, and she's dead. Why did that happen? That is very obvious. It's because we have 2 Scampus, so the animal region is faster. Now, I'm gonna explain one other thing that I kinda forgot to mention. I'm gonna explain it real quick. So, keep in mind that the Amrita meter is always gonna be from 0 to 100, okay? But I will explain this. My bad, I didn't explain it earlier, but if you're keeping up with everything, now this should not be an issue. Okay. So, the Spirit Stone, each of them gives you 25, okay? The Amrita meter goes to 25. Large Spirit Stone and Lumicide Crystal gives you 50. Spiriting Gem does not really give you Amrita, but it increases the Amrita meter progressively until 80. Okay. Small Spirit Stone is just a 10. And apart from that, there's no really other numbers as far as I remember. There are other kinds of Spirit Stones. They're gonna give like a 25, for example, but I forgot the name of. But these are the main ones, plus the Lumicide Crystal. The Lumicide Crystal gives the same amount of Amrita meter as the largest Spirit Stone, but it gives you even more Amrita, okay? So whenever on that, use the Misa crystal, because you know you're gonna have more experience. Alright. So yeah, once you deal with that, just get everything. We got an axe, that's really good. I'm gonna still go with the minimum, which is the warrior monk's hammer, but you know I could go with something stronger if I wanted to. Okay. So yeah, get the Kasha Soul Core. We really want that one. Switch to Masaru. And mission, and if you can, update your sword as well. Okay, it's gonna be pretty important. You will always have a guaranteed sword of a certain strength because of the previous mission, or was it the one before it? I don't remember. I think it was the one before it. So I'm gonna go with the bare minimum, but swords are actually very common drops. So yeah, I just skip this. I'm gonna go over to the. Which one was it? Is it this one? No, that's the other one. Okay, Azai Ichimonji is definitely the bare minimum. It's definitely the bare minimum, but I'm willing to say that there's still like a guaranteed extra, because I don't think I've ever had to like go with just as an Ichimonji. I'll explain later on the. Well, I'll say later on the edition if I do actually get a guaranteed other weapon. Because there's another thing that I haven't mentioned, is that some bosses always drop a certain weapon, guaranteed. You know, different rarities and all whatnot, but always drop that weapon. That's gonna be important later. But yeah. Okay, next mission. The sun sets on Mount Tenno. As you can see, we get the rewards of Ryomen Sukuna sword and Ryomen Sukuna axe. That's gonna be important, okay? And yeah, we're gonna use it on the next region, okay? Let's go. Skip the cutscene. And now I want you to prepare the menu where you have the lantern planfoot and use one of them. Switch back. And now I want you to, especially if you have a underpowered sword, buff with water. And right now, depending on what you have, you want to use Spirit Stone, okay? Just use whatever you have, as long as it's... Okay, just, yeah, that. I'm gonna explain it a bit more, because sometimes I forget to pause. So basically, right there I had like a large Spirit Stone, I had 3 Spirit Stones and all that stuff. If you can complete the 100 in one go, then go for that. If you cannot, then just use whatever. You should always have like a Spirit Stone here, and a large Spirit Stone or something like that. So, you know, just complement it with that after this. And yeah, on this, the reason why we have the, you know, the reason why we use the Spirit Stones there is because Masaru has a buff, an attack buff, for whenever you're absorbed Amrita. So using it there makes you more likely to kill this crystal fast. Now, if you have a strong sword, you can even one-shot it, but you know, at least you should be able to drop attack and then mid-stance quick attack to kill it. But if you do not have a strong sword, then just I recommend switching to high stance and do a couple of light attacks. Okay. This guy might be very fast sometimes, in which case, you know, you were unlucky. But in theory, the vast majority of the times you should be good to go with that. Okay. So now we get the Spirit Stone, Large Spirit Stone, and Small Spirit Stone. It's probably like a different kind of there's a different kind of variety on the stones every time you pick it up, but I feel like I always get more or less the same on that one. Now I'm gonna get this shrine and then the shortcut, but you can just ignore that if you're feeling fast. I do that on every run lately, or not lately because I don't do runs anymore because I don't have time. But yeah, anyways, after taking this run, if you're feeling peachy or not, if you're feeling fast, just go to the, you know, through the rice fields. Careful with that Odachi guy. Odachi guys are very dangerous. And yeah, just go to the boss, picking up some stuff in the way. Okay. So I'm gonna get this as run, just because I don't want to do the other thing again. I'm not gonna level up, but I'll show you that it's just from here on out, it's just dumping everything on stamina. Okay. It's because of the axe damage. Yeah, make sure to not die to that Odachi guy. Dash. Now, don't do this if you didn't pick up the shrine. Just open that, and you can menu here if you want to, with learning some skills. Okay, so that's good enough actually. I don't need to open the thing. Get this Respa Lily. You can skip it if you're doing any %. Unless you're feeling peachy. And then get that Spirit Stone as well. Now, next boss is Ryomen Sukuna. And, you know, it has certain nuances to it. You're gonna open the door straight away, switch to the hammer, or the axe, or, you know, whatever you have that is strong. Skip, buff with purity. And now, right here we're just gonna avoid it to the right and, you know, see what he does and approach him. Whenever you have an opening, depending on the on how big it is, you might do Heaven and Earth, or you might do a high stance strong attack. And just be happy with the Masaru, or, you know, with the Feral counter rather, to get away from very dangerous stuff, because he likes to spin around a lot. So yeah, that's a bit inconvenient. And the moment that he's very low on ki or on red ki, use Yatsu no Kami, but make sure, if possible, make sure that you switch to the Shirohami, you know, the brute spirit, beforehand, because that's gonna proc the poison on him. And then the moment that we do that, it should, you know, the Yatsu no Kami itself should regenerate your Amrita meter. Okay, because it's full, and you know, absorbing Amrita increases the speed on which you are able to use it when switching from one spirit to another. So you do that, and then do Yokai Shift to grapple. You need to do it immediately. Ryomen Sukuna is pretty generous with the time before the grapple. Well, yeah, you do that, and then you wait for him to wake up, and you do the same thing as we did with Tatarimoke, and you parry that. Now, after that comes the tricky part. Most of his attacks are not really great to parry because they just go past you. So, you know, depending on your positioning and everything, you might want to parry, or you might just want to go aggressive. You're gonna have to adapt to that, but, you know, ideally you want to, like, punish his ki as much as possible, as fast as possible, and then use Yatsu no Kami whenever possible, and just do the grapple again, and then do the parry, like, just continue with the same thing. Okay. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so the classic start. Okay. There we go. 1, 2. I'm gonna switch. Yeah, to Nokami. Make sure to counter things when happen. Sadly, I did not proc the poison, but it's okay. Parry. Now, this is where Enki becomes useful again. Parry. Yatsunokami. Enki. Oh, and that's... Okay, I'll explain what happened there in a moment. Switch to Masaru. And buff if you can. Okay, you have a Yatsunokami, he's low on ki, so he's dead. Okay, so I'll do it again, but before I do that, I'll explain what happened there. When I exited the yokai shift, I was in the middle of like Enki. So whenever you transition from yokai shift to like just your regular state, when your Amrita meter drops to 0, okay, not because you trigger it, but because the Amrita meter drops to 0. When that happens, and you're pressing triangle, you're gonna do in the case of the axe, for example, if you're on high stance, you're gonna trigger the heaven on earth. It will act as if you were doing something before, and it will do the follow-up. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, I'll do it again. Okay, one more time. Okay. So I didn't do it great, but you know, whatever. Parry. Counter. 1, 2, 3. Yatsunokami. Grapple. Parry. Yatsunokami. Okay, and that's GG. Now, I did forget to do one thing. I will just add it later. I will edit it. But yeah, here. Get this stuff. Get the Ryomen Sukuna Soul Core is gonna be useful. And go forward. Yes. You can do some menu here. If you get an axe, then if it's a Ryomen Sukuna axe, make sure to equip it, because it's gonna be most likely higher level than the reward one, but it's not a big deal, okay? If you have like a armor 2 update, you can also do that. And with this, we're gonna end part 4. Skip this, we're gonna do that later. And now we have 3 soul cores. What that means is that we're gonna have more space for soul cores. So that's gonna let us add another soul core on top of like Yatsunokami. And we are not gonna need the Enki anymore, because you know we have other better soul cores to have. Anyways, proceed to the next region. Skip the cutscene. And we're possessed by Nekomata. This is gonna be relevant later. Skip the cutscene. And yeah, get that menu pop up. We're gonna leave it here. Next up is part 5, Twilight. So I'll see you guys there. Bye bye.